All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Errol Spence Jr. predicts he's going to make a quick comeback from his eye injury and fight the winner of Manny Pacquiao, Ugas. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back. Now, before I get into the subject matter of the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you've not already subscribed. Also, hit the like button, hit the share button. It would definitely be appreciated by me, and it goes a long way to growing the channel. So, series of unfortunate events could be called, the life of Errol Spence Jr. Several years ago, well, not several years ago, about 2 years ago now, Errol Spence Jr. was in this big car crash that everybody feared was going to end his boxing career. It was just a horrific accident where you saw this white Ferrari in security cameras just flipping and flipping and flipping, like spinning like a top. And people thought, man, there's no way that Errol Spence Jr. can get out of this and come back and fight. So it was like almost like the feeling when we first saw that, or when I first saw that, was like, man, it's really a wrap on Errol Spence Jr.'s career. And now we're in a mini situation, nothing like that one, right? But just a mini one in comparison to that, but one that would seemingly cause problems in Errol Spence Jr.'s career and definitely cause problems in the fight schedule that we have in boxing, and that it wound up canceling the fight that he had scheduled with Manny Pacquiao. Now, as far as the injury goes, Errol Spence Jr. came out and said that, alleviated fears of it ending his career, and said that he spoke with 3 doctors and that the doctors said that he should be back to fighting, and that it's not a situation like where Sugar Ray Leonard was facing, where he had a detached retina, and because there's a torn retina, and which is some lining in the back of your eye, and if it detaches itself, you can go blind. But there's a tear in it, which is something that can be repaired surgically, and you can continue to fight again. In fact, Sugar Ray Leonard had several more years of his career after having surgery for a detached retina, and a completely detached retina, and that was in the mid 1980s. So we're talking about surgery that took place 30 years ago. So my understanding is that the turnaround time for that is a lot quicker. And the research that I did, and again, I'm not a doctor, said that it would be between 2 and 4 weeks before he would be back or be able to return to regular activities. Now, I don't know if regular activities means taking punches to the face or not. That I'm sure probably takes a little bit longer, but I would suspect that what he gets to do is just be outside, go on his regular activities, take the sunglasses off that he's probably going to have on to protect his eyes and all that. And then after that, he'd be in position to return to the game of boxing, which honestly, man, there's when something this bad happens, I always got to try to, find a silver lining in it. And there is a small silver lining in that the fight between Ugas, who is replacing him, Ugas, and Manny Pacquiao, that actually solves a problem for Errol Spence, in that Errol Spence Jr. was trying to go for all 4 belts, and the WBA was not on the line for this fight that he had with Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao had been stripped by that organization, and the title had been, and Ugas won it when he fought for the vacant title. So one of the big things that Errol Spence is wanting to do, and honestly is a big thing in boxing now, with Josh Taylor having received the undisputed title. You had Jermell Charlo fighting for an undisputed title. You have Usyk. Usyk, who fought for Alexander Usyk, who fought for an undisputed title, and Terrence Crawford, who fought for an undisputed title. So all of those people having fought for undisputed titles has that, you know, being kind of like a fad that we hadn't seen that many in a lot of years. So, or since I think it had been like a 10-year span without an undisputed champion between the time of Jermaine Taylor and the time that Terrence Crawford won it. But now it seems like that's in vogue, and Errol Spence Jr. wants to do that, and it makes it a lot easier to do it when the outcome of Yordenis Ugas and Manny Pacquiao take place, because that fight will definitely be, the winner of that will be the WBA champion, and therefore when they fight Errol Spence Jr., it can be a fight between for the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF. So that actually kind of works out in a way where if Errol Spence Jr. is able to get right back, then you know, shoot, they can have a fight with you know, 3 belts, and then the next fight would of course be the fight between the winner of Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford. But you know, all in all, like, I just got to say that this is a situation that is really unfortunate, but I really do like the attitude of Errol Spence Jr. and saying that he's going to be able to come back, and it's not anything that's going to really hold him up. And I liked how he's holding his head up. So same thing with Derek James. They're both very, you know, said that this is something that they'll come back from. And then I definitely like how it pans out towards the Undisputed. So, you know, again, it just really seems like Errol Spence Jr.'s over the last couple years has really been, you know, a series of unfortunate events, and just the car crash, and now this torn retina that really does seem to would cause the normal person to be very, very stressed out. And it's just it's good that he has the type of spirit that's necessary to continue to push through and continue to fight. Now, as far as what happens with the rest of the welterweight division, I think that it kind of puts everything on hold. But at the end of it, it's going to work out towards, you know, all for the better. You know, that's what they say, you know, whenever you have things that happen that are bad, you know, it all happens for a reason. And I hope that the reason is that we're going to get, you know, besides the life lessons and things that Errol Spence Jr. learns, you know, the suffering through adversity and all that, that for boxing fans, that it could all result in us getting a undisputed champion, which is at welterweight division, which is something that is, I think, more significant than getting undisputed champion at another weight class. It's like the main weight classes in boxing are heavyweight is number 1, then number 2 is welterweight, number 3 is probably middleweight, and 4 is lightweight, and so we've gotten most of our undisputed champions in between weight classes, the cruiserweights, the 140 pound division, right, the 154 pound division, but not in a traditional weight class. And I think that that's be important for the sport of boxing. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comments section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.